Bill lost his father when his father was very young due to heart disease. He was concerned that maybe, he would be affected by heart disease too. He was always very physically fit. I mean, he ran track in college and always loved running. He loved the triathlons and the races that the Y provided. But he also liked what the Y stood for. Again, helping others. He thought it was very important for children to grow up being active and thinking about their health, and not only their physical but their mental health.
Bill and I both lost our fathers at the same age, at the age of 9, and we share that in common, and we talked about that quite a bit, about growing up without your dad. And I think that's one of the reasons why he strives to be such a good dad for his girls.
He mentored so many of us and kind of set an example and gave us all friendship and an idea of kind of how to live.
When I was an orthodontic student and he was an orthodontist here in Wilmington, I met him and his family, and immediately our family fell in love with his family and fell in love with him. So I got to work with him very closely, and he was a great mentor to me. I feel like he left the earth too early.
Children were very important to Bill. He started out as a pedodontist where he only treated children. And when we were at Duke in Seattle and Bill was undergoing treatment for his cancer, we saw many children come in, and it just broke his heart because he thought, he had been so fortunate to have such a very healthy life until he was struck with cancer, and it really touched him.
He had been such a vital part in the community, but not in a showy sort of way, that we needed to do something to continue on his legacy.
So it really just kind of took off, and thanks to Dick Jones and the YMCA, we were able to get this idea together whereby we would have an annual event. We've been able to help kids each year by giving money to Y scholarships, as well as children that have been affected with cancer.
We've sent off several thousands of dollars to Hole in the Gang Victory Junction camps, where we basically pay for the tuition of a child with some type of debilitating disease to go to the camp for a week long, and usually the tuition's about $2,500 for that. I think he'd be impressed with all the children running and the parents and the children running together. I think he'd like to see that. He had great family values. So I think he'd be pretty happy. I hope he would be anyway.
You immediately felt a bond with Bill Craig that was unique, and there's no doubt that I'm better for having been his friend, and I'm sure many of the folks he touched would say the same thing.
For a long time, I thought Bill was my best friend, and I found out that I wasn't the only one that thought that. Bill had a lot of best friends, and I was honored and pleased to be counted as one of those. He was a good man.